What's up, everybody? Well, I got another Ally X and Ally Z1 Extreme gameplay video for you guys today. And today we're gonna try out this Chrono Odyssey game. It's an MMO, it's open beta, so obviously things are can change for the better or worse. But I just wanted to try it out. My friend Pat told me about it. He even said, hey, I bet your subs would probably like you to try that out. From what I remember, you just said you almost never do MMOs. I'm like, yeah, you're right, I almost never do. So why not try one out? Now the Steam Deck kind of fell flat on its face, but in its defense, at least it got into the game, didn't crash, didn't restart, didn't do anything goofy. These things lately have been restarting just trying to start any game. Doesn't matter what game it is. Any game I start, it'll get to like the splash screen of like saying, oh, this is an NVIDIA sponsored title, or hey, this is made by this company, and then boom, restart. Both of them do it. Now, luckily today, neither one of them crashed turning on. Usually this one nowadays loves to just randomly just lock up. I'll hit the little fingerprint scanner thing, expecting it to turn the screen on and sign me into Windows, and instead these light up with the little RGB things, but they freeze in whatever color they were on, and then it just sits as a black screen, and there's nothing you can do until, I mean, you can wait 10, 15 minutes and it will restart itself, or you can just hold down the button and restart it. Not very fun, but I blame all that on GPU drivers, because this stuff didn't start happening until I got the newest GPU driver for these. And unfortunately, I kind of have to wait on Asus on this one, because I haven't figured out a damn way to get just normal drivers from AMD. Anytime I try to download them, even if I download the automatic detecting tool, because so far I haven't made me find these freaking GPUs in the list of stuff on the driver page, and even that just goes, oh no, I can install chipset drivers for you, but nah, there's no GPU in there, what are you talking about? Anyway though, why don't we stop blabbing and why don't we hop on into the game? We'll start with the Z1 Extreme, and why don't we see what it can do?
So, now we're going to do the high setting first here. And as you can see at the top, it says it's DX11 here, but according to Afterburner, nope, we've been DX12 the whole time. So I think here I change it to 12 once we do the camera, but it doesn't really matter because it's always the same thing. So, obviously, wouldn't even show that footage if it hadn't been also the camera recorded footage, but either way, I'd say it's just about game time. 900p and medium time on the Z1 Extreme now. Hopefully this will be a little bit more playable. High was not so great, but wasn't really expecting it to be. But it was actually very similar to the Steam Deck when it was on low and everything, so that's pretty nice. But still not playable. So let's see what 900p and medium can get us. So we got 720p low now on the Z1 Extreme. And then I went and switched it to DX12 for camera recorded portion once we get to the end, but doesn't really matter because it was always DX12, as you can see from the Afterburner little graph thing up there. Either way though, this is definitely going to be your best bet for playable FPS. I think it still drops a little under 30 here and there, but I'd say this is your best bet, and I'd say it's barely borderline playable. Doesn't look great while doing it though. So, now we're going to do it all over again. High 1080p on the X here. We'll see if VRAM was an issue. I don't think it's going to really matter much, but I just wanted to make sure. And we don't have to pay no mind to this graphics API. It doesn't do a cotton picking thing. I wish I would have paid attention to that earlier, but I did not notice that it was always in DX12 mode the whole time. But hey, sometimes things that are obvious are right under your nose the whole time and you just don't realize. But anyway, game time.
Hold. Not another step. These rifts should not exist in this timeline.
Now RP on medium, and we're a little bit closer to playable FPS now, but still not quite everywhere. I mean, even 720p and high on the Z1 Extreme anyway couldn't quite stay at 30 plus. And I think on this thing it does about the same thing. Just dropped like 28 or 27 at one point or another. And who knows what it'll do way further in the game either. We're just basically in the starting area, or right after the starting area. I think it's still trying to train us though. So it could get even harder to run later is all I'm saying. But I'd say it's about time to go and see what it can do.
The Void Apostles. Even the bold falter before their fell might. Take the trail of light to the Citadel.
So, now we're going to do ourselves some 720p low, just like on the Z1 Extreme, and then move on to a little camera. Which I sat here and thought, oh, I'm doing something, and changed it to DX12, but didn't do nothing. We're already on DX12. I wondered why it never really changed. I mean, usually if it's going to change, it actually does change an FPS or two for better or worse, depending on what the game likes. Some games run a little better on 11, some games run a little better on 12. That's why it's nice to just check it out. So I figured I'd do my due diligence and do that, but it seems as though my due diligence just wasn't warranted here. Either way, let's get some gameplay, shall we?
Shall guide your way. May it be a steadfast beacon.
Now for some camera recorded gameplay. And all I did is turn it to DirectX 12. So at least it's playable-ish, more so than the Steam Deck, but still not exactly a super pleasant experience in the looks department and in the frame time department, but hey, at least we're getting pretty playable FPS. Anyway, where am I supposed to go? That way. I keep dying all the time. I didn't pay attention in the blacksmith's place. Picked the frickin' thing for a sword person and not for my class. I figured the twin blades would work for a ranger, but should have paid closer attention. Alright, that way. We have to speak with the sentry. It seemed like they were at the bottom of that freaking, what the hell do they call those things? That weird sentry stone thing that I picked up. It looked like he was right underneath it. And then I tried to go down there and accidentally fell off the cliff and died. And that's how I ended up back in town last, if I do recall. Hopefully I can, not fuck up this time. I just gotta figure out a way to get down there without dying. Yeah, definitely going better than the Steam Deck, and at least in the frame rate department. The frame times still aren't fantastic, but hey, what do we really expect? MMOs usually are pretty hard to run. And hell, even on high-end computers, like when you're in towns and stuff, I'll very often drop under 60 even on my high-end stuff when I play MMOs. Truth be told, though, I usually have them up pretty high in the graphics department, but then even if I turn them down to everything on low, I'm like, oh, I still get like 50, 60 FPS in town. It barely changes. Versus on something like this, it might make more of a difference, though. Last time I was in town, it didn't seem to drop the frame rate that much. We seem to be getting the same 30, 40 FPS. I don't know, this does seem slightly better. Ever so slightly, by a couple frames, than DX11 on here. It didn't really make a big difference on the Steam Deck. But I think that thing was just too weak to play the game, so we really couldn't really get a good basis. Okay, like most MMOs, once you get certain ways away from them, they'll leave you alone. So yeah, I kind of screwed myself. I'd go fight stuff and whatnot, but if I do, I'll die. Since I didn't pick a weapon, I'm supposed to have a way better weapon. So like, if we go and attack, like this wolf, for example. This thing will probably fuck me up if it hits me just one time. Alright, cool. We actually were able to defeat the wolf. Last couple things I tried to kill just fucked me up hardcore. Although maybe that was because I was getting such bad lag and I just wasn't able to aim at stuff properly and do stuff properly. Who knows? All I know is I gotta figure out which way I'm supposed to go again. Let's find that little... Oh, it's not showing up now? Usually I look for that little thing. There was a little marker. There it is. I see. It gets hidden behind my stat window. That happens a lot in these games, unfortunately. That's why I don't play them too seriously either when I'm making videos for you guys. Half the time I can't see or hear what I'm supposed to do. Anything on the capture computer, I'm completely deaf. So if I don't have subtitles, or them saying, hey, go over there, idiot, I'm not going to have any idea. And then half the time, things like this block stuff. I don't know, can I beat you? Probably not, but I'm going to try. And we were able to kill. Yeah, it might have just been the frame rates that were fucking me over, I guess. Alright, we gotta find out where I'm supposed to go. It's still going the right way it looks like. Yes, I know. I probably should use that too. That would probably help me out a tremendous amount. Is there an easier way to get down there? Right? That's where I'm supposed to go. Somewhere down there. Well, there's people running around down there, so there's got to be a way down there. They wouldn't just make it impossible for me to get to, you know? Ooh, another thing to attack. Okay. It's alright, I don't have time to fight all of you, and you'll probably fuck me up if I try, so... I'm just gonna whiz by here real quick. Alright, this looks like it might be a way down there. Hell yeah, we figured it out, I think. Yeah, I think I gotta go somewhere down there. That's where it looked like it was, anyway. Ooh, is that another chest? No. 'Twas no chest, 'twas but a rock.
over here this way, it looks like. Yep, I see your little mark. Heck yeah, we figured this out. I'm supposed to go, but I'm assuming I'm probably supposed to go in here now.
But I think we can leave that for another video. So why don't we go ahead and move on? Well, not move. Actually, no, not for another video. We still have the X to do. So let's go play on the X now and get a little bit farther. I keep getting used to my old ways of just playing on one thing, even though I've been doing the double allies for a while. It's hard to remember you're doing two. So half the time I go, oh, it's time to wrap up. Anyway. Sorry, blabbering on and on. Alright, now for some camera recorded gameplay.
Sucks I messed up getting that free weapon. Because it seems like now I can't actually, like, get anywhere. But, even if I can't get anywhere in the game, I can still at least get you guys some FPS data. Button for that? Ah, I don't have a butcher knife. You can probably skin that shit and like sell their coats and whatnot. You can do that in a lot of these MMOs, so it wouldn't surprise me if you could do that in this one. Obviously the game still doesn't look especially spectacular, but it definitely plays quite a bit better than the Steam Deck. It's got to be that more powerful CPU, and I mean the GPU is way more powerful too, let's not kid ourselves here. Probably should have gone back to my rapier, but fuck it. Yep, I don't have that knife. But yeah, still hovers around a barely 30 FPS mark in some spots. So there could be some spots in this game too where it still drops well under into the 20s, or maybe even the teens, who knows. At least where I am, it's getting pretty playable FPS, especially for using a controller. If I was using keyboard and mouse, this would not be as fun. That's where I really gotta have that 60. I cannot tolerate a game under 60 with keyboard and mouse. It's just not for me. I know other people can, but I'm just speaking for myself. That's why I clarify when I say something is unplayable. It's unplayable to me, not unplayable to everybody. Because everybody has different frames they like and whatnot. Did I already kill everything? Oh, shit. What the fuck is this? What are you, some kind of noob? Yeah, see, we're dropping down to 27 now. We're fighting a bunch of monsters here. Oh wait, no toast. Yep. Oh well. I knew that was going to happen sooner or later. Since I didn't get that weapon we're supposed to get, I'm way underpowered for where I'm supposed to be. Yeah, they pretty much gave you a free weapon. I accidentally made one for a swords person. I saw two little dagger things. I was like, oh, that's totally a ranger weapon. Nope, sure as shit wasn't. It's my fault. That's why I'm not sitting here playing the game like, oh god, the game messed up. But I don't know what's up with that weird Citadel thing. I kept trying to go to the Citadel, and I don't know, maybe I'm under leveled. So I figured I'd go around and kill some shit. Because I hit X and held it down, and it acted like it was going to take me. I even hit A, and then it's just like, nope. So I was like, okay. Wait, did it just say I got a wolf belt? Oh, I guess you will have belts. So that's probably just something else. I figured it might be something I can equip, like in Diablo 2, you know, you got belts, but probably just something to sell. Yeah, this thing's kind of crazy. 1 minute you can be at like almost 60 FPS, and then the second you get around like any monsters or anything, we drop down into the 30s and 40s. It's crazy. But hey, that's how lots of games are. You find some places, and then they'll run like absolute dookie in other places. Oh, are you angry? You mad? Couldn't see. Well, whatever. I still did alright. I almost thought I could win for a second, but then I remembered, hey, you're under-leveled and you're you. You are definitely... I'm probably worse at these MMOs than I am at Souls games, because these are all about, you know, getting together with people, and that's not my cup of tea, which is why I don't play these often. But, hey, I wanted to get you guys some footage, so, hey, here we are. Trying to just push through it and get some footage, but it's not easy. At least to make entertaining footage, anyway. But anyway, why don't we go and wrap this video on up?
Well, alright guys, as a wrap for Chrono Odyssey on the Ally X and Z1 Extreme, and it did a lot better than the Steam Decks, that's for sure, but still, not the greatest way to play. But still, just barely playable. At least where I was. There could be some spots further into the game that are infinitely harder to run, where you're going to be dropping down in the 20s, and I still saw 27, 28, so it's not like this still got over 30 the whole time. But I've had my Steam Decks drop down to 28, 27 here and there on my Steam Deck, and I still played on that, so that was getting more like 17 to 22 FPS though. Maybe 27 every once in a while if you had to stare at a wall or something, but this is definitely doing much better. It's at least playable here. It's maybe not the greatest experience in the world by any means, but at least it's playable here versus I would consider it completely unplayable on the Steam Deck. Though I will give the Steam Deck credit for actually launching the game and not crashing. I figured it was just gonna go, hey, nope, open beta, don't care. There's still anti-cheat and you ain't playing, buddy. But nope, let me in. Just wasn't up to snuff. And these were barely up to the snuff. This is often how it is with Unreal 5 games. But regardless, we're gonna truck on and see what the Firebat's willing to do. That one might just say, hey, you don't even have enough VRAM to start this game. Buzz off, you know? But we'll see. That's it for this video though. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.